Guys, only 35 members have joined, so let us wait for 3 more minutes. We will start at 10:05, and nearly 50 members to come. We will wait. Right. So students, shall we start the class? So we start. Only 47 members have joined. 48. We shall start the class. Let others will come and join. Right. So here in the previous classes, we have completed in nearly 3 classes. So in that classes, we have covered the portion only little bit, very little bit. See, so here as I told very beginning of the coaching, this EMT EMF syllabus can be split into 2 parts. The first one is the electric field, and the second one is the magnetic field. Right. So here, the first part, when we analyze the question, analyze the question more, there are more questions is asked from the electric side part. From the electric side part only, the more questions were asked. So suggest I suggest to concentrate more on the electric field part. So this is the fourth class. In that class also we will concentrate on this electric field. So with that we will complete electric field. The next class we will start with macrostatic field, that is start with Biot-Savart law, Ampere's law. So like this, the lower part we will see on next week. Today we shall focus on fully about electric field. What are the problems asked in the GATE examination? So that we will see. We will see with the concepts. So again, I'm telling you need not memorize all the derivations, all the theory parts. Only you need to memorize the results and its physical significance of the equation. So that alone you memorize, you can easily attempt the question. Right. So this class we will focus on fully focus on electric field and potential, that is E and the P, E and the V, electric field and potential due to line charge distribution, surface charge distribution, and of course spherical charge distribution, and a little bit about the concepts about the Gauss law and its problems asked in the examination. So this is the very aim of today's class. Right. So we'll go into the problem. So before going into the problem, let me quickly recall previous class so that it will be useful while doing the problem in this class. So the previous class we have seen the gradient operator. It is denoted by del. It is denoted by del. So the gradient operator having the formula, general formula is this, that is del by pi is equal to 1 upon h1, one equation, 1 divided by h2, one equation, and the third one is 1 by h3. So like this we have the general equation. In that general equation we substituted the respective values of the coordinate system. Cartesian system, xy is the coordinate system. Cylindrical system, r pi z is the coordinate. And the spherical system, r theta pi is the coordinate. We substituted and get the answer for a uh, gradient for all the systems. So I request you to remember this del pi. Del pi, that is gradient of any scalar. Gradient of any scalar, that you should remember. Pi is the scalar quantity. Pi is the scalar quantity. For that, when we take a gradient, that becomes the vector quantity. That becomes the vector quantity. See the equation here. Cartesian equation பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, I represent ax vector, ay vector, and az vector, meaning that they are in vector quantity, right? So this point you should remember. Gradient of a scalar is a vector quantity, that we remember, right? So again, when you see what is the definition of a gradient is, so here see the equation. Let us see the equation of a Cartesian system equation alone. You see, that is a differentiation. The differentiation, otherwise we called as uh, rate of change of differentiation. We can call it as a rate of change of. So here, del by dou by dou x is meaning that rate of change of x y z, meaning that in space coordinate, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. In that axis, we call the space coordinates. Now, around us, we have the space. That space, any point on the space, if we consider any point on the space, that may be with respect to origin, they are having x value, y value, and z value. So here, again repeat, gradient definition is rate of change of any scalar value. Rate of change of any scalar value. Dou by dou x, meaning that rate of change of any scalar value in space coordinates. That is one definition. Rate of change of pi in space coordinates. Otherwise, in mathematics we can say differentiation is nothing but finding the maximum value. Mathematics differentiation is meaning that finding the maximum value of any quantity. Differentiation in mathematics meaning that finding the maximum value of the any quantity. So here that point you should remember. Gradient meaning that rate of change of one definition, and finding the maximum value another definition. So these two definitions you remember. We have the question on that. Next one is divergence of any vector, that is ability to diverge, that is denoted by del dot. That is denoted by del dot. This also you remember. And also we have when the divergence of any vector, that is del dot f is positive value, del dot f is positive value, it is meaning that source. It is meaning that source. That is, it is something like a sun rays. Sun rays is the first diagram. The first diagram, the sun rays coming out from the sun is called the divergence of the source. Divergence of the sun. So del dot f is value is positive, greater than zero. Greater than zero, that is nothing but a source. When del dot f, that value is less than zero, that is negative value, that is nothing but a sink. That is nothing but a sink. So the second diagram example is our Earth. Earth receives the sun ray from the sun. Sun rays from the sun. So that is an example of divergence with a negative value. Divergence with a negative value. When del dot f is equal to 0, meaning that it is a solenoid vector. It cannot diverge. It cannot diverge. So that one we will go over. We have the problem on this point. That is del divergence value is 0 is meaning that no source, no sink. That is, it cannot diverge. So that we can call as a solenoid vector. That we can called as solenoid vector. So this point we come over. Now the corresponding equations we have seen. And the next one is del cross. Del cross, it is denoted by ability to rotate. A simple word you can remember, ability to rotate. When this del cross f value is 0, that means it cannot rotate. When del cross f value is 0, it cannot rotate. We can call it as irrotation. We can call it as irrotation. அது rotate பண்ண முடியாது. It is called as irrotation vector. Now this is a basic formula for a curve. I asked you to write the expanded equation. So you practice that. Right? Now we have the first question. So last class we started this question, and we finished up with this. Now can you say what is the first diagram? Come on. What is the first diagram? X vector. Come on. What is the first diagram? X vector. What is the second diagram? Y vector. What is the third diagram? Z vector. Come on. Type it. What is the first diagram? The first diagram, whether it is a diverged vector. Okay, very good. The first diagram is a diverged in nature. Second diagram is rotate in nature. And the third diagram is, what about third diagram? Both divergence rotate in nature. Very good. So let others also will participate. Only in all the classes, only few students are contributing. So I request everyone should contribute into the class, right? So the first diagram is the divergence. So the divergence meaning that it has some value. It has some positive value. It has a positive value. It is a diverging. It is going away. The first diagram, it is going away. It has some value. That is a del dot x having some value. Del dot x is equal to having some value. See the first option, A option, it is that value is 0. So first option definitely we do not have. See the last option, D option, that is del dot x is equal to 0. And it is from the observation we can say x having some value. Del dot x is having some value. So option A and option D is eliminated. And come to the second diagram, that is option B and C, or we have. See the second diagram. The second diagram is rotating curl. It is a rotating vector. Rotating vector meaning that del cross Rotating meaning that curl. Del cross y is equal to some value. Del cross y is equal to some value. It should not be zero. It should not be zero. So the options what we have now is B and C. In that, see the B option. B option we have del cross y is equal to zero. Del cross y is equal to zero. That is it cannot rotate. Del cross y is equal to zero. That is the B option. Del cross y is equal to zero. It is meaning that it cannot rotate. But from the observation, we can say this vector having the ability to rotate. That value should not be zero. Should not be zero. So should not be zero. That is del cross y is equal to not is equal to zero. So option C is the correct one. You need not consider is that we found the answer. From the observation, we found the answer. So you need not concentrate on Z vector. That is option C is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. So just you take down this. Option C is the correct answer. Like this. So this is the first question. We dropped to this in the previous class. So concentrate this type of questions. They were asking with different notation. Suppose in that x vector is a diverging nation. It is coming out. It is coming out. It will act as a source. It will act as a source. They may change the question. They may change the question, and this x vector acting as a sink. X vector acting as a sink. That is the arrow is coming in. Arrow is coming in. So that time the del dot x value is a negative value. Negative value that you should remember. So that is an alternate way of asking the question in this. Right? So here this is the answer for that. Now can you say the answer for this one? The maximum space rate of change of any function which is in increasing direction of the function is known as. Can you answer the question? So I explained previously. I explained previously. Can you say the answer for this? The maximum space rate of change of function. Maximum space rate of change of the function which is increasing direction is known as. What is the answer? For this question, what is the answer? Come on. So I said at the very beginning, I expect three quantity: gradient, scalar, divergence, and the gradient. In that, I explained each component. Right. Answer. What's the answer? Answer is Bharat, the divergence of the vector. Divergence of the vector. Divergence of the vector. Right. Divergence of the vector. Right. Voice common. It is wrong. It is wrong. Option C is wrong. So I said very beginning, what is a gradient definition? I said very beginning, a gradient definition is what? Gradient definition is dou by dou x. Dou by dou x. It is meaning that rate of change of any vector, any scalar value. Rate of dou by dou x meaning that the differentiation of any scalar value in space coordinates, that is x axis, y axis, and z axis space coordinate. So that is nothing but a gradient. That is nothing but a gradient. Now this question is This question is asked. This question is asked the maximum space rate of change of function. The maximum space rate of change of function. So space we can call it as space rate we can call it as a gradient. So option B is the correct one. Gradient of the gradient of the scalar. Gradient of the scalar function. So option B is the correct one. So the definition of gradient is the maximum space rate of change of any scalar value. Space rate of change of any scalar value. So differentiation otherwise we can call it as maximum finding the maximum value. So the first the option B is the correct one. Now come to the next one. At least everybody can answer this. The line of forces are said to be the line of force are a very fundamental question. The line of force. Suppose we have two charges Q1 and Q2. There are two charges. In between these two charges, there is a force is existed. What about the line of force? Whether it may be a real force or imaginary force. That line is a real line or imaginary line, or drawn to trace the direction, not significance. No significance. Come on. Just you mention the option. Need not type the question. Just you mention the option. Come on. Line of force is said to be real one or imaginary one, drawn to trace the direction, not significance. Bharat, option C. Okay, right. So here the option C is correct because when we have two charges, we have the Coulomb's law. When we have two charges, there is a force in between these two charges. We have the force. That force we will represent as a line representing with the direction. That is Q1 ல இருந்து Q2 க்கு போகுது அப்படின்னு ஒரு டைரக்ஷன் போட்டிருக்கோம். Q1 ல இருந்து Q2 போகுதுன்னு ஒரு டைரக்ஷன் போட்டிருக்கோம். So the option C is the correct one. Drawn to trace the direction. The force is drawn to trace the direction. This force is to direction to trace the direction. Option C is the correct one. Now, so this we will see later. This we will see. Right. So here, first listen. So this is very important question. Which have some concepts behind this question. If a positive charged body is placed inside the spherical hollow conductor, we have the spherical conductor. Imagine a sphere. Imagine the sphere. Inside we have positive charge. Inside we have, suppose we consider a rubber ball. Rubber ball. Inside the rubber ball we have the positive conductor. What would be the polarity of the charge? What will be the polarity of the charge inside and outside of the hollow conductor? Inside and outside of the hollow conductor. அந்த ஸ்பியருக்கு சர்ஃபேஸ்ல என்ன இருக்கும், சர்ஃபேஸ்க்கு வெளியில என்ன இருக்குன்னு கேட்குறாங்க. So imagine we have the ball. Inside the ball we have the positive conductor. What is the charge present in inside? That is ball உள்ள என்ன இருக்கும்? On the surface, what is the outside the hollow conductor? What is the charge? Right answer. Right. So I say the answer. Now imagine. So let's come to the second slide. Now see, boys. See inside we have the see the diagram, read the question once again. If the positive charged body is placed inside the spherical, so inside the spherical conductor we have the positive charge. That charge is the plus q. அப்படி இருக்குது சரியா, plus q இருக்குது. இந்த டாட்டர் லைனுக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு சர்க்கிள் இருக்கு இல்லையா, டாட்டர் லைனுக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு சர்க்கிள், that circle is the inner part of the hollow sphere, inner part of the hollow sphere. Now originally the plus q is kept inside the cylinder, plus q is placed inside the cylinder, inside the sphere, right? So using electrostatic principle, what is electrostatic principle? What is electrostatic principle? ஒரு பிளஸ் இருந்தது அப்படின்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா ஒரு மைனஸ் கண்டிப்பா இருக்கும், அது பக்கத்துல இருக்கலாம் அல்லது ரொம்ப தூரமா இருக்கலாம். So in the given problem they given us plus q is present inside the sphere. Automatically inside the surface the minus q is created using electrostatic principle. The minus q is created. Due to this minus q, again electrostatic principle, outside the sphere we have the positive. So again repeat. Inside originally we kept plus q inside the sphere. Using electrostatic principle, minus q is created inside the sphere, that is on the surface of the sphere, on the surface of inside the sphere. Again electrostatic principle, minus q, this minus q will create the one positive. So the answer is inside negative. Inside negative and outside positive. Inside negative, outside positive. Just write this question. If a positively charged body is placed inside the spherical conductor, what will be the polarity of the charged inside and outside the hollow sphere? So write the word that is called the electrostatic principle. Using electrostatic principle, that word you should write. Electrostatic principle. Using electrostatic principle, we have the concept called electrostatic principle. So that principle, the charges are created. So write the word electrostatic principle. That word you should write. First, at 1 minute time, write this question. So like this, they can ask many variety of problem related to this. The concept is electrostatic principle. It is inside originally we have plus. This plus will create one minus q inside the sphere. This minus q will create one plus q outside the sphere. So inside negative, outside positive. Electrostatic principle. Come to the next diagram. Come to the next one. Right. So here this also one question, important question. Suppose read the question. So the first one is two charges are placed with the distance of some meter, some distance in air medium. Do you remember? In air medium, two charges are created. So what is the force between these two charges? Come on, when two charges are separated with a distance, what is the force between these two charges? Which law we will use? Which law we will use? Which law we will use? Which law we will use to calculate the force between two charges? Right. See, boys, who is recording this session? Who is recording this session? Come on. Who is recording this session? Okay, you stop recording first. Boys, you stop recording first.